an audition. The kids who made it from the Kansas City auditions will be coming out here to re-audition to see if they are really wanting to push towards going forward with the show. We will have all new judges panel. I am not going to be a judge. I am stepping out and I am just doing the producing part of it. I just think that it will be best left up to somebody who has more experience in that type of field. So I want to, concentrate just on the back end of it and not so much on the being in front of the cameras, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it really does, because a lot of times
it's a lot. Nobody really understands
we
how
do it
much
all.
work. No, it doesn't. It's how much work it takes to do this.
Yeah.
Like people, they think like it's really fast and easy, and it's not. So it's really. Hi, Brenda. Yeah. So sorry, guys. People are saying hi and waving and giving hearts and stuff like that.
I keep telling him to go to the Zoom. Go to the Zoom, dude.
But anyways, so what do you think about the new format of the show, Shawnette?
I am going to forward information, and yes, I'm excited about the new format.
Okay. So yeah, pretty much, we're just reformatting everything, doing everything a little bit different. Buenos dias, Shane. Good morning, good morning. Vegas is a 24-hour city, so nobody ever sleeps there.
The city that never sleeps. Ooh.
Yes, okay. Pretty much.
Is that what they call it? Or I thought it was...
I don't know, girl.
It happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas, so you don't ever sleep.
I guess. Hi, how are you?
What up, girl?
Hello.
So welcome. I want to introduce Shane Sparks, you guys. He is our special guest for today. And so basically, usually we have people can call in and ask questions, and we have a segment where they can ask questions. But because the studio is actually not working at the moment, a lot of stuff froze, and so the pipes busted and all that crazy stuff. So we're actually just doing like a Zoom type of thing for now. So we'll ask you questions. Hi, Marvin. We will ask you questions, and the viewers will ask you questions if that is okay with you.
Yep, perfectly fine.
Okay. Yep. So, Shauna, you can go ahead.
Well, of course, I'm going to do my little bit of research. Cincinnati, Ohio. How do you go from Cincinnati to Las Vegas to LA to all over?
Well, it all starts when you feel like you got a gift. You got something different from everybody else in that city that you're born in. And after a while, you do all the talent shows, you do all the schools, you do everything that you could possibly do to get to the next level, and you don't go nowhere. Then eventually you meet somebody else in a different city, and they tell you, if you want to do something, you want to become something, you better pursue it, and you better take it serious. And if that's the fact, come to LA. The movie situation is popping, the world is popping, everything's going on in LA. So we made the move to LA, and that's what got us there. And I got a lot of stories to tell, but I'm just going to keep everything kind of short. But I was in a singing group, and when you're in a singing group, you can sell records. So people are quicker to fly to LA as a singing group to sell records because they know they can benefit from you, as opposed to being a choreographer dancer. Because at the time, choreographers and dancers weren't popular. They didn't have You Got Serves, and they didn't have the So You Think You Dance and American Fest. They didn't have all those shows. So coming as a dancer was like, okay, what you gonna do? Teach a dance class? But as a group, they can make money off you. They can sell product. So we formed a group, was together for a few years, sent the demo out.
Name of the group?
The name of the group is called Cold Premier, COLD Premier. And that name derived from, I was in a dance group called Cold Crush, which is, we love the group Cold Crush out of New York. So we named ourselves after them. And then premiere is like the first time you see something. So it's a cold premiere. So, and cold is like a verb, it's like one of those words.
Great spin-off.
Great, yeah. So we sent the demo out. Somebody saw it. They flew to Cincinnati. It was like, we have to see y'all live. We have to see if we have to see if y'all are as good as y'all are on this demo tape. because we were dancers and singers. We had a singer that could outsing KC from Jodeci. We had another singer that could outsing.
Did you? No, you did not just mention Jodeci. And
hey, listen. Before you say that, I'm the biggest Jodeci fan you will ever meet. Look at my hat. I'm the biggest.
Oh my God.
So there's nobody better. But when I want to compare somebody, if I say that, it'll let them know that they were that good. So we had a strong vocal group, a strong dance background. So we're on stage giving you everything. And he had to come to Cincinnati to see it. So we performed for him in my boy's living room. And he was like, y'all are better in person. So he ended up flying us to LA. You know, we got signed to Giant Records. We recorded an album. We did a movie called Class Act where we performed with Kid and Play on the stage when they was having a big dance event. And we just did a lot of we just did a lot of great things. And then of course, you know, like everything else, we lost our deal because of some bull crap. You always have one member that's in the group that's doing a lot of conniving stuff, always.
Yeah.
And when we just trusted him, we didn't know a lot about the business at the time, so we was letting him do a lot of the moves, and it kind of messed everything up. But at that time that he was doing it, everybody was leaving, and I was doing my dance thing. I started teaching classes, and I was like, I'm not leaving until I accomplish. I didn't come all the way out here to go back to Cincinnati and just be a nobody. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then that nerve that I had, that courage that I had, led me to everything that I could ever imagine happening to me, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and in life that always happens. You have your good and your bad. You know, we've all been through it and gone through it.
And yeah, the good and the bad is what takes you to that next level. You
exactly
learn from it. So now you done went from being in a group to coming to LA to dancing to starting a class. Where did you say, oh, I think I'm gonna teach a class, and people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to you?
Okay, well, their story started like this. I was seeing this female, and she took me out to a dance club, and she had never saw me dance outside of the dancing that I do with my group. And as a street dancer and a group dancer, there are two different styles to a certain extent. So she saw me doing the slides, the kicks, the this and that. We did a few flips and stuff like that, but that was more choreography for singing. But when I went to the club and she saw me street dance, she was like, oh, you can really dance. And I was like, yeah, I just choreographed for the group. Me and my boy Chris choreographed for the group to make the group look good. So we do what we need to do to make that happen. So she said, you need to start teaching classes, you know? And so she took me to Morelandis, which is now the Millennium. And this is before hip hop was really popular in the dance studios. So I went there. They had a couple hip hop teachers going on, and I just sat and I would watch classes. And one day I was sitting there, and one of the teachers was late, and the students was in there, and they were like 6 of them. They was like, you should come in and teach the class, because you know me, I have my head pulled down over my eyes, and my pants dragged, sagging, my baggy shirt, and I just looked like a dancer. She was like, you should come in and teach. So I went in there and started teaching until the guy got there, and then he was like, yo, appreciate you, man. I'm running late, blah blah blah. He appreciated it so much. He said, look, can you assist me? Because I'm going to be going to out of town for something. I can't remember where he went. I don't remember who the guy was, to be honest. I wish I could remember who his teacher was, but it was so long ago. I didn't even know him at the time, so I don't remember anything about him except for him asking me to sub it. So he left. So I started teaching his class. So it went from the upstairs room, small room with like 7 people, to the Dome. And everybody knows the Dome in LA. If you from back in the late 90s, early 2000s, the Dome was the biggest room you could get almost in any dance studio around the world, basically. And me and Wade Robson was the only one that packed that place out. So it went from 7 kids to 200 kids in one class. At one time, I used to have to teach 2 classes back to back because of the overflow. I would have to wait till I would be done, that class would leave, and then the second.
So what was the music that was playing for that time frame? What was it like?
It was more like 90s. Like it was like I remember playing. Shit, who was hot at that time? I don't even remember who was hot at that time. It was just like a lot of hip hop music that was just coming out. But nobody's super like famous. It was just good music. And as a hip hop instructor, You just want beats that sound good. It wasn't what was on the radio most of the time. It was just stuff that people were sending you. And I remember my boy Chris Tyler, he used to have a guy in the radio, and this guy in the radio would get a whole bunch of music to play, but he wouldn't play it all. And so he would just send me whatever he thought was dope. And I'm like, oh, I'm teaching to this next class. I'm teaching to this. So whatever song moved me is what I would teach to. And so, it's funny that I can't think of none of the names of some of the artists. Because like right now, you can like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Justin. You could just, you could say everything. I remember teaching to, an album that got me through a lot is I hate to say this, but when Britney came out with Slave, when everybody remembered Britney to, and she was doing all that boys and all that stuff. That's one album I can remember because we did so much with it. I remember auditioning with my boy Brooklyn J for Britney to do one of her tours or do one of her shows or whatever. And that at that time, I remember that vividly because it was so much surrounding that moment. So I know, and that was the style of music that was hot. But as like I said, back to hip hop, we just used whatever was hot. Sometimes it would just be a mix. A lot of times I would take a song and I'd go to the studio and I would mix sound effects to it and transitions. And people were like, this is crazy. And no other class doing it. Yeah, so, but that's what made people want to come to me because it was more original. Yeah, and my style from Cincinnati, we were very original dancers from Cincinnati. We didn't bite dance styles. We didn't go around like, oh, we're gonna do the nay right here. We're gonna do the yo right here. We're gonna do the wah. We're gonna do it. It wasn't like that. We were literally creating our own dances and choreography and putting it together and murdering people, But out here, everybody was like doing the same moves. They was just putting it in different orders. So when they saw me getting down on the ground, popping my back, rolling back up, lying to the side, jumping down, popping, they always thought booty dancing. They used to be like, oh, you teach booty dancing. I was like, no, it's not booty dancing. It's just I move my body, and the hips and the back got a lot to do with that. So when you get on the floor, I'm gonna make you pop. I'm gonna make you grind. I'm gonna make you slide. Now twerking is like the biggest thing in the world. Now,
right?
Like I was doing that a long time ago.
Yeah, right. You're like I'm.
Dropping it like a pot.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's not a big thing, but when you come into the corporate world or the people that just take dance classes because it's hot, they're like, what are you doing? And the parents are like, why is he on the floor? I don't want my daughter here. But now all their daughters on the pole.
Oh, damn. Thanks.
I'm playing. But it's funny though. Now they all know.
It is.
Everybody's on the floor now. Everybody.
So mama should have listened.
Oh God! You've done the dance, you've done the teaching, you've done some movies, you've done television shows. We want to talk about how you got into this film production, which is gonna go into the show, to the Extreme Dance Show.
Well, first I want to know is how was your first break to get your first movie? Did you have to audition like everybody else, or it just
No, it wasn't like that. Like my journey is so different from a lot of people. I was doing, I was working, and I was on tour with Immature and Quindon and Chris. So this is before B2K. So by me being affiliated with that situation, I was already in. So when you guys
exactly.
Up, Chris was like, "Yo, we about to do this dance movie, and I want you to be in it." I was originally supposed to play Marcus Stokes' role. I had the script, learned the words and everything, but then B2K came in right at that point and blew up. So the movie got pushed back a whole year. So when it got pushed back a year, B2K ended up being in the movie because B2K wasn't supposed to be in the movie at first. So they ended up starting in the movie. Marcus ended up starting in the movie. So then me, Dave Scott, and I can't think of his name right now, but it was another choreographer. We ended up choreographing the movie. And then and Chris was like, yo, you want to do a scene in the movie with one of the crews? And I actually, danced, with one of the crews. They call Beat Freaks now. They actually was on America's Best Dance Crew one time. So it was just funny how life goes around.
It does.
But so by me working with Chris and him having that movie and me being around at the time it was happening, it was more like, we about to do this. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. This is how much you're going to get paid. And then the rest is history.
Well, the one thing I did learn when I was out there, and like I told you, I had my sister who was in different things. They were all in the same circle. So the dancing people were all in the same circle. If you're a singer group, you kind of all in the same circle. So things just kind of, worked together for that.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if that was a question or if you were just telling me something.
Well, when you were saying that, it went from this to this to this, like
Yeah,
everybody was so connected. If one person was doing a music video, then they brought
yeah,
somebody else on. It was
yeah,
kind of like,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. And that's how me and Dave Scott became really tight. I didn't really know too much about Dave at the time, but when we went on tour, we became the best of friends. And up until today, it's like one of my good friends. And but we did a lot of work on that movie You Got Served. And then You Got Served led into So You Think You Could Dance because
Yeah, it was like a
Nigel,
roll off.
Nigel Lipko said he wanted the choreographer Shane Sparks from the movie You Got Served. So my agent called me up, was like, somebody wants you for a TV show, at least an audition. I was like, really? And the funny part about it, two things that y'all don't know is I created the name You Got Served. They didn't even have a name for the movie at first. It was called Some American something weird. And then we sat at a table and he was like, what did y'all say in the dance world? Like, what? I was like, well, when we battled somebody, we beat them, we said You Got Served. And that's how the name came up. But I'll never get credit for that. But and then so
and that happens a lot. That happens a lot in the industry. It happens.
Definitely. Yep. And then So You Think You Could Dance, it wasn't called So You Think You Could Dance, but I didn't create that. But they said they were looking for choreographers for the show. And I went in and auditioned, had a great audition, like an hour just sitting with Nigel. And he loved me, I loved him, and we just laughed about so many different things. But then they ended up bringing in Marty Kudelka, which is another good friend of mine. Marty Kudelka is Justin Timberlake's choreographer. And we know how dope he is. He came in, he did a couple episodes. And after he did a couple episodes, they just wanted to give me a shot. And I was like, dope, let's go. And I was like, because I'm so street. Like, my stuff is so different from everybody at that time. Nobody doing it. So I went in there and I was just like, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the 70s. I'm going to put her on the floor in the dog position. I'm going to have him over top and have like a chain. When they start off, he was going to look like he's walking a dog and they're going to be popping at the same time. Then they're going to start ticking and animating coming up. All black, white gloves, the suspenders, like the old school lockers. Like, took them back. Like, I wanted to, if we go do hip hop, let's do hip hop. I always say that I didn't want none of my hip hop looking like a lyrical or contemporary or a jazz piece. Never, ever look at my stuff and ever. It got to a point of So You Think You Dance when I would be watching TV and I'm like, oh, that must be me and Michaels. That was tight. And they'll be like, oh, the hip hop. I'll be like, what?
Yeah, I think how So You Think You Can Dance invented lyrical hip hop.
What'd you just say?
That's what I said it. I did the quotes, honey. It says something about it. So You Think You Can Dance invented lyrical hip hop.
Yeah, that's what it says online.
Yeah. I won't say it invented it. I say it made it popular.
Okay.
I'll say it made it popular because a lot of these choreographers was already doing that. You know what I mean? It's just when they got on like Tabitha and Napoleon, they're about as dope as you can get when it comes to that style. But they were doing it before. They were doing it before they got on the show. I know that. I know them personally.
Yeah.
So when they got on the show and started doing it, America started to see it. If you go to a dance convention, you would see that style all day long. But it wasn't it wasn't on Main Street.
And people who don't go to conventions don't really know what other genres are out there. They only know if they go to a dance studio what that particular dance studio is offering. They don't understand until you actually go to compete or to go to conventions that you'll see that these styles have been in and around for some years.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of to me like when breakdancing broke off, it was really in the inner communities. It was in the underdeserved communities. It was in the Black communities. It was in the poor communities. That was their way of just dealing with some things, and then it became this mainstream. So I mean, I think what lyrical hip hop has really become very mainstream still today.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, dance is one of those things that you can't ever really put a title on. And that's why I hate that they call all our street dancing hip hop. Because as soon as a street dancer that's considered to be a hip hop dancer does something different, they look at him like, what is he doing? He's supposed to be doing hip hop. But a lot of street dancers dance from natural ability. We dance from feel. We hear a song and we'll do a slow dance to it, a slow choreography.
Yeah.
You know, then we hear an up-tempo song, we go pop, lock, and tick, and do this. We hear another boom dog, we go probably start breakdancing on it. Most of us can do all those different styles, and not because we went to class and learned, okay, one and two.
No, you learn that on your own.
Yeah,
so that's what I was going to say. Did you really take ballet, tap, jazz, you didn't have to do any of that stuff.
A street dancer normally doesn't. The only reason a street dancer would do it now is because of mainstream popularity. They have to have some type of background in something because they will get swallowed up. With these kids coming out today, with dance moms and all that stuff, and these kids are tapping, doing jazz, doing hip hop, they're locking, they're contemporary, they're doing everything. And as soon as you get in that room with one of those kids that got all that those styles behind them, and then the choreographer is another one of those styles, one of those types. And he says, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna block it there, we're gonna do this, and that, and all you do is street, you dead. You are dead. And I know that for a fact. And I tell dancers, street dancers, get into those classes, but always keep the root of who you are, because that's what's going to separate you once you get in there. Play the game and do what you got to do. So when they do some type of contemporary, blah blah blah, you know how to caress, you know how to feel, you know how to do the, because a lot of this technical from a hip hop point of view, the contemporary and jazz, a lot of the technical stuff is what we don't get. We can do the movement. That's just movement.
Right.
You know what I mean? To us, it's just gonna feel. But the pirouettes and all that Jonathan Tech and all that crazy stuff, that's where you lose it at. So you take those classes and learn those certain techniques. So then when you in there do what you do, and then you come out of it and you do 6 pirouettes and land and stop, and then you go on your hand and spin on, do a 1990, and then you spin on your head and do a windmill and jump up and look at it. They're gonna
They'll be like, what?
What did you just do?
No way.
That's when the studio dancer gets demolished by the street dancer. Because let a street dancer come in and learn what they got, you can't stop us because we're not going off of what we were taught by classes. We're going off of natural ability. So we get a little technique behind it, we're gonna take that technique and destroy it. So yeah.
So what made you want to open your company that you have now? Tell us a
Final
little bit
Focus
about that.
Production.
Yes.
Final Focus Production is based on me and my boy Leon. I've been doing a lot of editing and producing and filming since back in the day. I always had like a little camera and I learned how to edit off of like iMovie and stuff like that. So I always liked bringing my mind to life. Whatever I envision, I like to bring it to life. So that's what, when I told you I was doing music and I would be teaching classes and I would edit my choreography from my head. I was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. I would not need music, and I need a hit to make that move come alive. So I would make the music, and then I would choreograph it, and then it's a story. So I'm always creating. If you ever watch any of my stuff, you think you can dance numbers, it's always matrix driven. It's always some type of movie. So it's always, if you look at it, they always got some type of theme behind them from a good movie or TV show, because I like to bring a visual to my dance. And I just lost track of what your question was.
Final Focus Productions.
Oh yeah, Final Focus Production. So when I came to Vegas, I was like talking to Leon. He was like, "Yo, we're doing this, we're doing that." I was like, "I'm doing a little bit of that too." So we just combined, and we just started. Like, I do a lot of the editing. He does a lot of the filming. We went and bought a nice camera that, there's only a few cameras that you can use for like Hulu and Netflix and all that stuff. And our camera is one of those cameras. So we are just like, we're in the loop to do something amazing, but we're still growing. And so that's why we did it. I just wanted to be able to bring your dreams, other people's dreams, and my dreams of what we think alive.
Yeah. Do you take outside? Not just in Vegas. You'll go to other places, because this network right here, we have people looking from all over that tune in to watch the show, that are from Kansas City, that are from Chicago, all of those places that would love to, hire you guys and do that type of stuff.
I mean, 100%. Like we are just ready to work. If somebody wants to get in touch with us, of course they can go to our at Final Focus Productions on Instagram, or they can hit one of us up, and I guess we'll give you.
Yes, and I will link all of that stuff at the end of the video. Yeah. I will link all of your handles and your emails and stuff like that, and your Final Focus Production emails. If they want to get in touch with you, they certainly can. But yes, I mean that's my purpose is, in doing the show and having you a part of it is my dream. But I also know that I've known you for a while, and I see that you are a very hard worker. You love what you do. You do a lot for the communities. You do a lot now with your filming and and your music and stuff like that. And to me, I'm just proud of you. Like I love you guys, and you and Leon. Leon has been in my life for over 20 plus years, you know. So I know, yeah, I know. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I thought back and I'm like, damn, I'm old. I was like, oh my god, I feel so old. Some of my students are now having babies, you know, and they're teaching classes, and they have opened their damn studios, and you know, it just makes me feel good inside to know that we're still doing something for, you know, the community, and changing people's lives, you know, especially when me and Leon had the studio in Cali, and we had most of our kids were in group homes and foster homes, you know, and they loved Leon. I mean, I couldn't say I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna be in the back, because Leon was, you know, their everything, you know, especially the little boys. And just, you know, trying to redo it again, and trying to, you know, get it right, and get it, you know, where we don't have to go back and redo anything. And I have trust in you guys. I am seriously blessed to, you know, just have Final Focus in this all the way. I mean, it's just going to be a great opportunity for everybody. And like I said, to the people that are watching, if you guys want to hire them, or, you know, want to, you know, get all of their information, we will be pinning it down here, and it will be on YouTube, and it'll be pinned in the links. We'll have links for them, and also Twitter and Instagram. It'll be in the links as well, where you can get a hold of them, and, you know, use them for your upcoming projects, videos, movies. They do it all.
Short films. We all about bringing the content. It's all about content right now. So if you need good quality content,
yes, there you go. There you go. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank you, Shane, for coming on, and Mr. Walker. Hopefully, the pipes get done soon, and, you know, we'll have Shawnette out in there shortly. I'm gonna be in Cali and in Vegas for some time, so I will be doing, you know, the show from afar. But like I said, we'll have another special guest next week, another choreographer or another dancer. I think he's a Latin ballroom dancer, I think he is. And he was on Dancing with the Stars. So we'll get all that together, and we'll give you all the information and then put it out there. But thanks, guys, for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah. Peace. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.